in my case, I don't know how many times I heard, if you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was both parents, and they were serious. So I learned to stop. And that's one of the, part of the legacy of that for me is, despite the fact we're talking at length about this, it's very difficult for me to do grieving work. It's extremely difficult for me. I still feel I have this real catch-22 going on of like, it feels so lonely to do it by myself, but I don't want anybody else to see that
Right.
because it
Right.
doesn't feel safe to me because of
Right.
the ways that I was punished.
Right.
And when I start to go there, there's so much resistance because in that moment before I sort of do the state change where the tears come and I'm crying, once I get there, I'm fine. But it's the moment before that, I just feel like a hole is opening up in the earth and it's going to suck me right down into it and I'm going to die.
Right.
It really feels like I'm going to die.
Mhm.
So that's a negative incentive.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame you.
But it's so much of it is, again, goes back to when you're a child, you can't help but cry.
Yeah.
It's that energy is so strong and it's so natural and it's just running and running and running. And you just cry naturally. But I was conditioned not to do it. And by the time my paternal grandfather died, he died very suddenly. He had a heart attack at 62, with no history of it. Um, I think I was a freshman in high school. And I remember going to his funeral, just kind of being in shock. And I remember going to the wake at the house he shared with my grandmother, and where my father and his brothers and sister grew up. And I remember sitting in a chair and everybody else is interacting. And I just felt like a stone. And I just went upstairs and I just got on the bed and I was just lying there for a while and nothing happened. Nothing happened. And I stayed that way for a long, long time.
Mm.